Hey guys, before we get started with today's video, I wanted to just take a second and say welcome to all of the new subscribers that I have got recently. Between the swap that I did with Hannah and then I got mentioned on Kelly Gonzo's blog, I've gotten a lot of new subscribers this week, and then about a week or 2 weeks ago, I had another little surge of subscribers, but I don't know if I was mentioned by someone or what. So if those of you that didn't come from Kelly's blog or from Hannah's channel, if you just recently subscribed and someone mentioned me, can you please let me know? I would really like to thank them and tell them that I appreciate it. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome. I'm so glad that you are here and that you are going to be stopping by to watch my videos, and I hope that you enjoy what you see. If you have requests or questions or anything, please feel free to ask. So let's get into today's video, which is going to be a review and swatches for the new China Glaze, the Giver collection. This, I'm doing 6 out of the 12 here on my channel. I did purchase all 12 polishes, but I'm only going to be reviewing 6 of them. And the reason why is because Hannah from Eve Believe Beauty, she didn't want to buy the whole collection. She only bought about half of the collection. So she decided that she was going to do a review of the 6 that she got, and I was just going to review the other 6 that she didn't get. So, and then also just kind of makes it easier time-wise too, because a 12-piece collection is pretty big. So it's kind of like a part 1 and a part 2. So then that way, you know, you don't have to sit down and watch it all at once if you don't want to. I'll link the video up here, and I'll put the video in the description box as well. So if you want to go watch the 6 that she's reviewing, you can go ahead and go do that. These are the 6 colors that I will be reviewing. We will talk about each of them individually here in a second. I do just want to say a couple of things about the 6 that I'm reviewing overall first, because I feel like these polishes do have a lot of similarities. The creams all have very similar formulas, so they are a little bit different, and you know, I will talk about those individually when we get there. But overall, the polishes are a little bit thicker than normal, but thicker in a good way. They're easier to apply, and I like the consistency. They're not super watery or runny. And I also wanted to mention that these do have the Giver limited edition labeled on the cap. So, you know, obviously it makes it very easy to see what collection this comes from. According to a couple blogs I found, and I don't know how true this information is, and I can't remember the blogs I read it at, but if I do happen to find them again, I'll list them down below. But according to a couple blogs I found, this collection, the Giver collection, is only going to be available at Sally's and at Ulta, so it's exclusive to those 2 stores. Again, I don't know how true that is. The only place I've seen it so far is Sally's. I have not seen it at any other store, nor have I seen it online, so it might be true. I don't know, but I do just want to let you know that in case it is true. So if you're on the hunt for these, I would check those places first. Another thing I just want to say right off the bat, before we get into the specific colors, is that since they do have similar formulas in terms of consistency, the coverage is also really consistent across the board as well. All 6 of the polishes are opaque in 2 coats, and I have to say that all of them, minus the glitter, so all the creams, are pretty opaque with just 1 coat. They're all really smooth and creamy, and they apply very nicely, and they are a little bit thicker. All the swatches you're going to see are still 2 coats, and I don't feel like any of them are 1 coaters, because they all were a little bit streaky or patchy on the first coat, but they weren't like super streaky or patchy, you know what I mean? They were pretty opaque, and they covered pretty well. I don't have these in any specific order, so I'm just going to grab what I have first here, and we're just going to go through all the colors and talk about the application and formula a little bit on all of these. So this first one is called 5 Rules, and 5 Rules I'm actually wearing on my ring finger right now as my base. I have a glitter over it, but it's the color on my base on my ring fingers. And this is a very white toned, beigey, neutral shade. I really like this shade because I feel like it's actually like right in the middle neutral. I don't feel like it has yellow undertones. I don't feel like it has pink undertones or any other color. I feel like this is just straight up very light, pale kind of beige color. It's not super beige, which I also like because I feel like it makes it more wearable and more versatile for like bases for glitter, like how I did today, or nail art and those types of things. So I really, really like this shade. I'm a little surprised that I like this one as much as I do, just because I'm really not into neutral colors much. They really just kind of go, nah, nothing fancy. But because this one is so pale and because it's so just beige and no other shade of anything, I really think this is going to be a great color in my selection or in my collection to use for manis. This color is called Friends Forever, right? Question mark. And this really is a very white-based pale pink color. It's almost white. As I'm holding it right now, looking at it, it looks almost white, but there is just a teeny tiny bit of pink in it. So it's a very pale pink. On your fingers, it does not look white. It does look pink, but I like it for the same reason I like the beige one so much. And you can see the difference side by side here. I like this one so much because since it's so pale, it's going to work as a base for a lot of things. If you don't want a stark white and maybe you're doing something like with reds or colors that go with pinks, this would be a great alternative to use besides white, I think, because it's not so stark. But there's still a little bit of color to it. This one out of the 6 had the worst formula. It's not bad by any means. It's still very workable, but because this is almost white, this one was the streakiest and the patchiest, and this one did require the most effort, I guess. It's still not a lot of effort. I don't want you guys thinking that this is a bad polish, because it's not. It is really a good formula. I'm just saying, compared to the rest of them, this one is the one that I felt was the most lacking. Next up, we have this cream red, and this is called Seeing Red. And I kind of was on the fence with this one before I had swatched it. In the bottle, it looks to be like a brighter red with a little bit of orange in it, like a burnt orange color. That's how it kind of looks in the bottle. But this polish actually dries darker on the nail than it does in the bottle, which I actually really love. And I honestly, truly love this color. I am not into red nail polish at all. It's so nice because it's not that traditional red. It's a little bit deeper. It's kind of a rusty brick red. That's really what it is, a rusty brick red. And I think that color is beautiful, and I don't have a red quite like this in my collection, so that makes me really happy. And I really feel like this is a unique red shade and something that you don't always see. I mean, reds come out so frequently in collections, and I always feel like they're your standard apple red, Crayola red, whatever. And I love that they just gave us a different type of red in this collection and gave us something more unique. The next color I have is what I have on the rest of my fingers besides my ring fingers, and this color is stunning, you guys. This is such a pretty blue. This is called Capacity to See Beyond. It's like a turquoise mixed with sky blue. I think that's how I want to describe it. It's just so gorgeous. I don't think it's the most unique shade. I feel like I would have similar things in my collection to this, but the formula on this was nice. The application is nice. It's just such a pretty color, and it balances the rest of the colors out. It gives a pop of color in the collection, which makes, I love that. I mean, when you have some more neutrals like this and then you put a nice bright blue in like this with the collection, I mean, I just think that's so wonderful for them to do. And it's such a nice tone of blue as well, and I think it's going to be flattering on any skin tone. This next one is, I think, one of those underdog polishes. This is called Community, and in the bottle it looks like it's going to be a milk chocolate brown, but a little bit of a deeper milk chocolate brown. And this one does dry a little bit darker on the nail than it is in the bottle, which does kind of bum me out because I like the color in the bottle a lot more than the color when it dries. This is actually my favorite of the 6 that I'm showing you. And normally that would never happen because Brown polishes to me are boring. Formula-wise, out of these 6, this is the best formula out of all of them. It is so creamy and smooth and oh my gosh, amazing. And the thing I will say about brown is that, especially this shade, I do feel like this is a staple color. I think that this is such a good staple. And for this to have such a good formula, I say you need to go pick this one up for sure, because it's just a good polish to have. And then the last one I'm going to share with you that I got is the darker glitter that's in the collection. This is called Boundary of Memory. Now this is a micro glitter, and the one thing I want to say before I even get into the description of this polish is that most people know, not everybody, and maybe not everyone agrees with me, but I would say that there's a huge population of people out there that do agree with me in saying that China Glaze has some of the most amazing micro glitters ever, and this one is no exception. Their micro glitters are so finely milled, they have so much dimension, they just glisten and sparkle on your nails. China Glaze, I just love China Glaze's micro glitters, and I love that they keep putting them out and they keep giving us different color combinations. This one, again, is called Boundary Memory, and it is in a clear base, and there I can see 3 different colors of glitters in here. I see silver, black, and like a coppery bronze color. The black is the most finely milled and kind of looks like it's in a black base, but when you swatch it, you'll definitely be able to tell that it's a clear base that it's in. And then the gold, or not the gold, the bronzy and the silver ones are a little bit of a bigger micro glitter. So the black kind of sits in the background and you see the silver and the copper kind of pop out more at you. It's stunning, you guys. Absolutely stunning. I just love how this looks on the nails. It's going to be so pretty as a fall accent nail, I think. And the last thing I want to mention about this polish is that this one does have the thickest formula, I think, of the entire Giver collection. It's not hard to work with, but it is thicker, and you do want to have more polish on your nail because it does have a tendency to take a little bit more because it is so thick. You know, I'm going to try putting some thinner in it maybe to help a little bit with that. It's not, like I said, I can deal with it, but I would like it to be a little bit thinner. Regardless, it's beautiful. It's not hard to work with by any means, and I would recommend this one as well. Overall, if you cannot tell, I love these colors. I love all 6 that I talked about, and honestly, I love the whole collection. I think that they did a very good job with coming out with colors that complement each other. It's very well rounded. There's a variety of colors. Out of these 6 I showed you, I really feel like if you're missing any of these in your collection, like these types of colors, that these would be fabulous and fantastic for you to add and for you to use. I think they are great. If you guys want to see the rest of the collection, make sure that you go over to Hannah's channel and check out her video on the 6 polishes she's going to be reviewing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you take to watch my videos. My Instagram and all that fun stuff is listed down below like always. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. And until next time, peace, love, and polish. Bye!